Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Roseville Ice Arena for CTN Lights live coverage of girls high school hockey playoffs. It is the quarterfinal round in Section 5 AA with the number 4 seed Champlin Park Coon Rapids Fighting Bluebirds and the number 5 seeded Rogers Royals. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above, and Howie, should be a great contest. Teams who split the season series and both looking to get to Tuesday's semifinal round.
Yeah, they know each other well. Obviously, I'm sure there's no love lost here between these two squads. And it will be interesting because you're going to see that number one line from, I believe, Rogers play a lot tonight. They've got an excellent goaltender. The Bluebirds, they can match them skater for skater, quite obviously, and they're the hot team right now. So it'll be interesting. I think as if the Bluebirds can put a little pressure on early, they've got the opportunity to move on.
Yeah, Bluebirds come in winners of 5 in a row. They've gone 9-2-2 since Christmas. So their only 2 losses to Minnetonka and Andover, 2 of the top teams in the state of Minnesota. The Royals, on the other hand, come in losers of 3 in a row, and that started with a 6-3 loss to Champlin Park Coon Rapids just a little more than a week ago.
Had a chance to talk to Emily Ochterkirk, the head coach for the Royals. Says, really, we've got to do some things like keep Kylie Scott in check. We've got to block shots at the point. We cannot let it get to the net. This will be a lot of fun, Joe.
Ochterkirk able to win the opening draw for the Royals. Champlin Park Coon Rapids with a turnover at center ice, but not able to get things going in their direction. Julian sends it right back out. Got tangled up in the skates of the linesperson. That one fanned on a dump by Messer, poked in deep by Bernovic. Bernovic gives chase, tied up there by Sidney Bailey. McKenzie fanned on a centering attempt at Brooklyn Johnson in the slot. Julian plays it back in deep for the Bluebirds. Played around near side, Lauren Barnacle able to play it out to center, but Rogers needs to get a line change as Julian circles out of her own end. Gets to the red line, dumps it in. Champlin Park Coon Rapids will get fresh bodies on the ice. Messer playing it up the boards. Oswego can't keep it in at the line. Tessa Bowden battling there. Comes free for Zahalka momentarily, and now on the stick of McKenna Sandberg, circling back into her own end for Rogers. Bounces it off the boards, cut off by Bowden as she was tangled with a couple of CPCR defenders. Cross-ice pass intercepted by Ava Johansson. Played around, tried to one-touch pass back to Johansson, instead intercepted by the Bluebirds. Sandberg battling with it, leaves it there. Johansson gets it out to center. Briley Del Castillo gets it to Eswegan off the boards. Ketting is spun around by Bailey, who gets it back in the Bluebirds' end. Bowden plays it off the boards, poked at by Zahalka, held there along the boards by Cameron Messer for Rogers. Tried to get it into the zone, but Champlin Park Coon Rapids able to get it out, and this will be icing a face-off back in the CPCR end after 90, make it 101 seconds of hockey.
You know, I think especially in a section game like this, in the first few minutes anyway, I think both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit, see what they're offering. But as this game will unfold, you'll see the intensity continue to pick up.
Well, 3 girls tied at the top of the leaderboard for Rogers, all with 31 points. Avery Ochterkirk centering the one line, and then you have Sandberg and Johansson rolled out right behind it. Barnacle centering, comes all the way out to the point for Maida, played it across, and now back on the boards with it is Hall. Tried to center, intercepted by Bernovic. Her pass forward, hit a skate and came back. Kylie Scott circles behind her own net, looking to find some speed down that left wing. Cut off at center ice, she spins away, hands it off for Bernovic. Bernovic gets to the line, dumps it into the corner. McKenzie gives chase. That's played right back to Bernovic, who shovels it along and regathers along the end board. Spun around by a body from Sidney Bailey. The Royals able to get it back out to center. Emma Olson waiting for the zone to clear, comes all the way to the near side, and now comes along the boards out of the reach of Maida. Continues to force that puck along. A backhand chance in close, turned away by Beckman. It's Lauren Larson that's in the.
Yeah, Lauren Larson, correct.
I mistakenly called the wrong netminder. A couple of good netminders, but
yes, they do.
A Division I commit in Lauren Larson. Boasting a goals against of less than 2. That shot comes in and stuck underneath the pad of Larson for the faceoff.
You know, we want to give a big shout out to both the booster clubs of Rogers and CPCR for allowing us to go live tonight. They combined forces and footed the bill so we can bring this contest to you live.
Face off to the left of Lauren Larson. It'll be Ava Johansson against Lily McKenzie for the Bluebirds. Tied up. Comes free to the corner. Poked along by Bailey to the far side. Good pressure all the way down into the corner from Julian. And Rogers will bring it back to the near side. That slipped under the stick of Johansson. It's going to come right down. Wastrel will let it go by, and it will be icing.
And as far as chances, nothing really for either side yet here, but obviously it's early in this first period. And you and I, we were talking before the game, the first goal scored is going to be big, in my mind anyway.
Well, Champlin Park Coon Rapids has found itself down 2-0 in each of the last 3 games. They'd rather not this time, and a great chance for Kylie Scott. And Larson got a piece of it with her glove that went off the crossbar and up out of play.
Well, yeah, they're confident they can come back if being down 2 goals, but they don't want to be in that situation. They'd rather be up 2 goals. But Rogers is a good squad. This is going to be a tight one from start to finish. It should be.
Johnson trying to set her, comes out to the point. Del Castillo plays it in. Stick save to the corner by Larson. Scott looking for room again. Trying to get between a couple of defenders. A chance at a goal! Walks right to the hash marks, puts it top shelf over the glove of Larson, and CPCR strikes exactly 4 minutes into the contest.
Boy, her stick work is so good, and she just stayed with that puck, did a really nice job of not letting the stick get off her puck, and then she got that opportunity out front, and she puts it in. Really pretty goal by Kylie Scott.
Yeah, great job defending the puck with her body, getting her stick free in a great scoring position. I was going to mention after that previous shot that Rogers really wants to limit how many times they let a dangerous shooter like Kylie Scott get into a good shooting position, and it didn't take long for her to light the lamp.
That's her 10th goal of the season, and we talked about it. Coach Ochterkirk said we have to keep her in check, and so far
she's got 4 straight multi-point games coming into the contest. She's had 5 goals and 7 assists during this 5-game win streak, and here she is with it in the corner, trying to walk out, chip it. It's poked back into the corner by the Royals. Bowden trying to walk off the boards with it. Zahalk has shoveled it toward the net. Bowden will keep it in. Singh stopping up along the boards, tried to play it back to a point. That was intercepted and played out to center by Omi. Collision right in front of the penalty box. Champlin Park Coon Rapids able to play it back in deep. Out of the corner comes Maida. She plays it out to center, turned around by Brooklyn Johnson, and now Lily McKenzie. For the Bluebirds, long shot, gloved down and covered by Larson.
Yeah, relatively easy shot, but Larson had to make sure she played that rebound and smartly drew it in to force that face-off to her left.
Well, and a lot of offensive zone face-offs for the Bluebirds early in this contest, including the one that led to their goal. This one scooped up by Ochterkirk. She will skate with it through center. Into the zone, trailed by Lily McKenzie, cut off in the corner by Oswego, stops up, still has control. Short angle shot and a goal for Ochterkirk.
Wow. Talk about a quick answer, Joe. That's the way this game is going to unfold. You know, back and forth, and Rogers capitalizing on that opportunity, and they quickly tie it up. That's her 18th goal of the year.
And a great individual effort by Avery Ochterkirk, but a defensive breakdown for Champlin Park Coon Rapids. They had her pinned in the corner with 2 players, and then both kind of backed off a bit, allowing her to walk out of the corner still with possession. She buries it, and we're tied at 1.
Well, and the Bluebird defense knew that they let one go.
Bodies flying at center ice. Johnson maintains the zone, but only momentarily. Ava Johansson spinning her way into the zone. She keeps possession. Bothered by Bernovic, gets it back down low. Fighting for it in the corner is Olivia Omi. Scott gets control and fires it around for Champlin Park Coon Rapids. Johnson hands it off to Julian, gets through a stick check from Ava Johansson. Takes a long shot, stick, save, and cover for Lauren Larson.
We were talking about, this is really a nice arena, good facility here, but the only thing I don't like about it is not have a shot clock. And really, after 20 shots, I run out of fingers and toes, and so I lose track.
Olsen with a face-off win, and Del Castillo was looking for Oswego crashing to the weak post, but wisely tied up. Centering pass, Ketting couldn't get to it. Royals able to get it out to center. Bowden flips it off the boards. Bouncing puck eludes Olsen, now gets it into the zone. Ochterkirk recovers for Rogers. Plays it ahead, out of the reach of, I believe it's Olivia Omi. Emma Olsen trying to shovel it out on the backhand. That ran into traffic. A turnover out front. Neuenberg is tied up by Del Castillo. As Swegan swings it around, and that will get back out to center ice. Messer stops it up. Olsen pokes at it, but played into the zone by Rogers. Champlin Park Coon Rapids just flips it out. Bailey turns it around again for Rogers. Played in deep by Miller as Swegan first one there behind her net. Ketting tied up on the far boards by Bailey. Puck comes back behind. Del Castillo's pass deflected, pushed ahead to Bowden. She's able to get it out of the zone, and then trying to jump right back in was Bailey, but still had a teammate in offside. And we'll have a face-off at neutral with 9:42 to go, period number one.
That was a nice job, just getting that stick in the passing lane and be able to cut that pass off.
Bernovic able to force it off the stick of Sandberg in deep, trying to center. That was deflected and taken away by Johansson. McKenzie had it momentarily for CPCR, then chopped out to center. Nola Milton dumps it back in deep. Long pass ahead. Down the right wing comes Omi. Centering out front, a one-timer just high and wide for Sandberg. A beautifully set up opportunity. And back the other way, a 2-on-1 possibly for CPCR. But Singh caught from behind by Moore.
Yeah, it was a great setup for Rogers. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't capitalize, but just a beautiful play and a great opportunity.
Puck played down the near side boards and far enough for icing. 8:56 on the clock in the first, and a 1-1 game. It very nearly became a 2-1 lead for the Rogers Royals. McKenna Sandberg has 11 goals on the season, was looking for number 12. One-timer, didn't miss that upper corner by much. This one played up the middle, held at the line by Julian, backhands it down, looking for Ketting. It's Bowden that comes out of the cluster with it and plays it in deep. Zahalka pressured in the corner by Maida. Ketting there to support. Puck still loose. Ketting comes away with it. Tried to kick it to herself, but then it's shot back out to center by Ochterkirk. Cross ice pass. Ketting settles. Tries to carry in. She's slowed there by Moyer. A takeaway for Taylor Hall. She turns on the Jets down the right wing for Rogers. Long shot into the glove of Maddie Wastrel, and a face-off at the CPCR end with 8:15 to go.
Yeah, Hall did a nice job of just, as you mentioned, turning on that speed and then creating an opportunity for herself. But
great pace to this contest early on.
Well, I was just going to say the intensity has really picked up here. I mean, early in the very first part, we're just kind of feeling each other out, but now the pace on both sides really picking up.
Kylie Scott skating it out of her own corner. Through center. And down deep, poked away. Continues to battle for it. McKenzie there in support, comes away with the puck. Plays it behind for Johnson, out front for Scott, and she couldn't get a stick on it for the one-timer. Back the other way, Ava Johansson cut off at center, circles from pressure, tried to play it across. That was deflected. Johnson plays it back out to center. Sandberg plays it back in. McKenzie now across. Briley Del Castillo stepping up. She's ridden to the boards by Omi. And back the other way momentarily was Johansson, and a turnover again. This one shoveled in by Omi as Rogers gets a line change. Oswego head up, looking, runs over her opposite number, Nuremberg, at center. I mean, that was a big collision.
Yes, it was.
Fortunate and glad to see both getting up from that. Nuremberg, a great chance, another chance on the rebound, still loose. Cook to the corner, where it's recovered by Achterkirch. Achterkirch to the slot, backhand toward the net. Deflection goes wide. Recovered in the corner by Scherf, out to the point. This shot deflected, misses just wide. Brooklyn Johnson got to the puck. She's tied up there by Scherf. Centering pass, intercepted by Bernovic. She'll just send it the length of the ice and get some fresh legs out.
Yeah, she just needed to clear the confusion in front of the net, and as you mentioned, get some fresh legs. So far, the Royals with the better opportunities here in this first period.
Yeah, since the tying goal, they have had the better play over the last several minutes. Winner plays Maple Grove, the number 1 seed, on Tuesday at 5. Back here at the Roseville Ice Arena, the loser will have to make plans for next season. Bailey plays it off the boards out to center. Scott at her own blue line, ahead for Ketting. Ketting will give it back to her onside. Backhands it toward the net, sticked into the corner by Larson. Tie up there, kick free for Taylor Hall. She plays it all the way down, and that'll be icing. Good effort from Hannah Miller.
Yeah, in fact, head coach Jim Coltis of the Maple Grove Crimson here came up, and we had a chat with him a little bit before the game.
Well, and his team over to in the corner to our left.
Yep.
Royals able to break to center. This one dumped in by Johansson. She'll give chase in the corner, pressured by Oswego, who pokes the puck. Comes away with it, back to Sandberg. That's intercepted. Oswego able to get it out to center, and then shoveled back in by Mackie Moyer. Julian back behind Oswego, is pressured, plays it around. Johnson ties up there, kept at the line. And then that shot deflected into the corner. Oswego nearly at her pocket, picked right out front by Johansson. Recovered in the corner by Sandberg. It's pulled free. Sandberg swings it back behind again. Cam Singh there for Champlin Park Coon Rapids, tied up. And it's taken away by Ava Johansson played it out front. And fortunately for the Bluebirds, McKenna Sandberg defended well in the slot as they were trying to get one of their big scorers in a good scoring position.
Well, a lot of pressure down in the Bluebird end here, specifically in the last number of minutes. As they're trying to take the lead here with 5:12 remaining in this opening period.
Kylie Scott skating it out of her own end. Cross ice, gets to center, dumps it in deep. First one there, Kylie Ketting. It hopped over her stick right to Taylor Hall. Hall to the line, and just outside was Scott to dump it back in. Del Castillo sends it in just wide. Ketting spins in the corner, takes it behind. Zahalka looking out front, and that was batted away by Bailey. A race for it at center ice. Kylie Scott able to win the battle over Taylor Hall. Achterkirch takes a spill. Scott able to get it in, but it will be offside.
A really nice job by Kylie to make sure she got to that puck on that last opportunity that Rogers was looking for. And just a strong play by Kylie Scott.
Well, Taylor Hall has been impressive.
She has.
Early on, especially when you consider just a 7th grader. Bernovic plays it in deep. turned around, played out to center and all the way down by Moyer, and that's not going to be icing. So Wastrel tried to play it away. Instead, it comes right back out front, and a great chance for Omi, and she hit the side of the net. Centering effort for Sandberg was deflected away. McKenzie steals it. This one played out to center. A race for it at the other end, and good body position for Moyer to win the puck. But now poked away by Brooklyn Johnson, who gets upended behind the net. Out to the point. Oswego looks across. Now will shoot, looking for a deflection. Instead, ends up just wide. Julian will send it back down deep. Johnson trying to center, taken away there by Ava Johansson. Up the boards and swept out by Sandberg. Kylie Scott back in her own end. Long pass ahead for Brooklyn Johnson. And just one too many moves. She and Bernovic had a great chance to catch the Royals on the break, or on their line change. Instead, we face it off just outside their zone. A win for the Royals. Messer gets it back out to center, pops back in. Singh a chance, blocker saved by Larson. Knocked down, Bowden a chance. That one misses just wide. Singh trying to play it to the point, didn't get much of it. Gets it back from Scott, plays it across the top of the zone. A shot hit traffic out front, a rebound chance. Just pushed wide by Emma Olsen. Now here's Taylor Hall. Playing it out to center. That one bounced away from Nuremberg. Turned around by the Bluebirds and then hit someone on the bench. And we'll have a face-off at center ice.
Yeah, great opportunity for the Bluebirds that time down ice. And you mentioned just a little bit of a flurry in front of Larson, but couldn't push that behind her.
Well, that shot hit traffic. She had no idea
she was looking
where
around.
It went.
Yep.
Emma Olsen just not able to get it around that right foot. Played across. Briley Del Castillo with some room to skate it into the zone. Slowed there by Moyer. Gets into the corner. Stops up. Looks out front. Bernovic a chance. Kicked away by Larson.
Yeah, Bernovic didn't get a lot on it.
Sandberg plays it across out of the reach of Johansson. Turned around. Poked free by Briley Del Castillo. Continues to fight. Lily McKenzie comes up with a loose puck. Walks to the slot. Poked off her stick by Maida and turned around. Scott has to wait for her team to clear and didn't realize she had one more teammate in over. And so another offside, 2:15 to go in the first period.
It's been an entertaining first period, Joe. We figured coming in that's the way this game would unfold, and so far it has.
Coon Rapids took a lead with 4 minutes into the game on a goal by Kylie Scott, but Rogers answered just 83 seconds later on a great individual effort by Avery Achterkirk. Royals able to win it back into the zone. Omi can't get it out front. That shot deflected by a defender and nearly eluded Wastrel. Bouncing around out front. Still comes loose out to the point. Fanned on. Bowden can't poke it free. Still in the zone. Now it's forced to center by Ketting. But Rogers turns it around. They've got a 3-on-1 at the line. That pass just out of the reach of Lauren Barnacle. Tessa Bowden will skate to center. She fans on the dump attempt. Knocked to the ice there by Messer. Oswego able to keep it in. Tessa Bowden has it back. Pinned there by Messer. Comes back to Oswego. Oswego back down the boards. Bowden has to fight for it. And now Zaholka. Down low to Ketting. Ketting pushed to the boards. Chipped free by Sydney Bailey for Rogers. Oswego all the way down to the corner on the pinch. Ketting disrupts, but it does get out to center, and now it's Taylor Hall. Showing that speed again. She'll get to the blue line and dump it in so Rogers can get some fresh girls on the ice. Long pass right on the stick of Lily McKenzie. McKenzie, a shot that misses just wide. Brooklyn Johnson out front. Bernovic turns and shoots. Glove save by Lauren Larson, and she'll hold on with 40 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, really quick reaction by Bernovic to get that shot off, but as you mentioned, it was held against the side of the net by Larson. She made sure that didn't get by her.
Yeah, Sydney Berdovic has been a lot of fun
Yes.
this season. 29 points as a freshman. She has points in 16 of their last 18 games. Johnson at the blue line, trying to get it back down. Scott waiting for the puck to settle, now has it. Poked off her stick. Johnson can't hold. Back the other way goes Johansson. Johansson with room, cutting across against Julian, a shot. Stick save into the corner for Wastrel. Johansson behind, centering attempt, taken away by Bernovic. Flips it ahead, trying to spring Johnson. Instead, it's in on Larson. She'll cover it, and with 1 second left, we'll have to drop the puck. Bluebirds will pull Wastrel for the extra attacker. Try and get a win and a quick shot. Put some bodies in front of Larson.
Yeah, tough with just the 1 second left.
Face-off won by Ochterkirk to the corner, and that will do it as the buzzer sounds. 17 minutes, 1 goal apiece. Winner moves on to Tuesday's semifinals. The loser has to pack their bags for the season. More of the Section 7 2A quarterfinal coming up next on CTN. Back in the Roseville Ice Arena, just about ready to get the second period underway in this first quarterfinal of the Section 5 AA Girls Hockey Tournament. Joe Yund, Howie Shapiro bringing you the CTN Light coverage live. Thanks to the generosity of the boosters at both Rogers and Champlin Park Coon Rapids.
Yeah, that was a fun first period. There's a lot of intensity going, and you know, it'll be interesting. I'm sure that intensity will pick up here immediately once that puck is dropped. But 1-1 tie, obviously, and we'll see who gets that first tally of the second period.
Well, Champlin Park Coon Rapids scored first, a goal by Kylie Scott on a rocket of a wrist shot. But just 83 seconds later, even by a brilliant individual effort by Avery Ochterkirk. Long shot in, punched away by Larson. McKenzie recovers, tried to center out front, comes out to Julian instead. Her shot blocked by Ochterkirk. Behind the net it goes, hops over the stick of Brooklyn Johnson. She'll battle for it along the boards. Pitchforks back in by Bernovic. Behind the net, centering attempt from McKenzie out over the stick of Julian and all the way out to center. Kylie Scott to Sydney Bernovic. Her shot deflected into the corner by Sydney Bailey. Rogers starts it up the middle. Ochterkirk's pass, handcuffed Taylor Hall a bit. Played back in by Julian. Recovered in the corner by Cam Messer. Messer's pass, handcuffed Barnacle. Able to get it to the line. Oswego keeps it in there for CPCR. Bowden pinned to the boards, trying to dig the puck out. Poked away from Ketting and swung back in deep by Oswego. Behind the net, Zahalka couldn't get away from the pressure by Bailey. A diving save by Ketting to keep it in the zone. Here's Bowden in the slot on her backhand. Had it poked away by Ochterkirk. Plays it back in deep. Ketting behind the net. Out to the point. Oswego through traffic. Deflected, a goal! Taylor Zahalka on the doorstep. I'm not sure if it was her or if it was knocked down by the defender, and it was. A huge goal from Taylor Zahalka, the sophomore forward, early in this second period.
Yeah, what a pretty play. And obviously you push things to the net and good things happen. And, you know, Coach Ochterkirk, when I talked to her, she said, we cannot let them push things to the net. We cannot afford to get an opportunity to get a rebound if possible. But that time, just a nice job on the deflection. And
they did such a great job on that offensive possession, just keeping it in that zone. A brilliant diving effort by Kyla Ketting to keep the puck in the zone. That led to the shot from the point by Oswego, deflected home, or was it Del Castillo? Pretty sure it was Oswego. Deflected by Zahalka out front. Sandberg trying to dangle through in the middle. It's taken away. Bernovic leads the rush 3-2 at the line. She'll chip it in and give chase. Bernovic, first one there, tied up in the corner by Moyer. Johnson sends it back in. Bernovic will play it along the end board. Centering effort kept away. A goal for Lily McKenzie as it was poked back toward behind the net. And Lily McKenzie coming from off the end line, able to sneak it in behind the keeper. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-1 lead for the fourth-seeded Redbirds.
You talk about some two quick goals here early in the second period, and all of a sudden the Bluebirds in control by two goals, as you mentioned. Still plenty of time, obviously, but they've got to feel pretty good now. Up 2 goals, continue to try and put pressure on the Rogers net.
Scott trying to get through some traffic, lost the puck, recovered by Bernovic. Bernovic dumps it in, stopped up or slowed at least by Larson. McKenzie comes in, had a steal momentarily from Bailey, but now recovered by Ochterkirk, who plays it up the near boards. Bowden with a steal, gets it turned around, went right through the legs of Emma Olsen. Messer, cross ice for Nurnberg. Hall gets it into the zone, pokes free. Nurnberg trying to get it deep, comes loose to Achterkirk instead. Staying out of the reach of Emma Olsen. Trying to come out of that corner. High slot on her forehand, fired it up and over the cage. Julia carries behind and will skate to center. Shelby Julian let it get a little too far away from her, but Singh able to poke it back and now control into the zone. She's held off the puck by Messer. And it's Moyer getting it out to center. Hall shovels it in deep. Wastrel leaving it there as Swegan reverses for Julian. She's got room to take a look and now play it out to center. Singh tried to deflect, but it's taken away by Moyer as they regroup. Long pass intercepted by Julian and played in deep, and that was just a little miscommunication as Johansson tried to get it at center, not knowing that behind her was McKenna Sandberg, who might have been in on a breakaway if that stretch pass had connected. Played to the line, held there by Evelyn Semlich. Dumped in deep by Bernovic. McKenzie gives chase. Long pass was behind Sandberg this time, and it'll go down the length of the ice for icing.
Yeah, Royals trying to spring somebody to see if they can get that second goal here for them in this period. And you know, again, now all the pressure on the shoulders of the Rogers Royals here, down by 2. That's what happened. You get a couple of quick tallies, and you've got the momentum on your side, as do the Bluebirds.
Face-off win by McKenzie. Scott crossing top of the zone, trying to shoot. It was deflected, slowed, and didn't make it through toward the net. Semling ahead for Lily McKenzie. McKenzie, top of the circles, had it poked away. Bernovic recovers, then stolen right back by Taylor Hall. She backhands it over for Barnacle. Barnacle will chip it into the corner and try and get there in front of Scott. Scott able to win the puck battle, come away with it. Cutting back, tipped away by Achterkirk. And now it's Briley Del Castillo getting to the red line and dumping it deep. CPCR getting fresh bodies on the ice. That pass didn't click, held at the line by Eswegan, but played right back out. Taylor Hall, Eswegan gets it back for Cam Singh. Singh will dump it deep for CPCR. Ketting giving chase. Larson sweeps it around to the far corner. Zaholka puts it right into the chest of Lauren Larson. Will have a face-off to her right. 11:34 to go in period number 2.
Now you're getting the Royals a little more rattled here as you're getting pressure again down in their end. Easy shot for Larson, obviously, to bring it into her midsection, but it forces that face-off to her right.
Zaholka in the dot against Johansson. Johansson able to win it into the corner. Zaholka jumps on the loose puck, tried to come out and jam it home, but the way was shut by Lauren Larson. Singh can't dig it free in the corner. Maida moves it ahead. That pass gets through to Sandberg. Her pass back to Johansson, intercepted by Ketting and played in deep. Maida behind her own net, trailed by Zaholka. Knocked free by Singh. Loose puck, Maida trying to clear. Julian steps up and gets the steal. She'll dump it back in deep. Johnson keeping it behind the net, trying to center up front. Singh pushes it just wide.
Oh, great opportunity for Singh there. Just couldn't get it on net.
Johansson up the boards and then played along by Sandberg, and now just shoveled in by Omi so they can get a line change. Scott didn't get what she wanted on that pass, intercepted by Achterkirk, who gets it back into the zone. Knocked free, back out to center by Brooklyn Johnson. Too far for Bowden. That'll be icing, and a face-off back in the Champlin Park Coon Rapids end with a 10.5 to go.
Well, obviously still plenty of time in this contest, Joe, but, the Bluebirds have to feel pretty good. I thought
the next goal will be critical.
Well, I thought the Royals will, pretty much outplayed them in that first period, and especially after that first goal by the Royals. But
long shot in, deflected wide by Julian.
There's no question who's been the better team here so far in the second.
Scott's pass deflected right back to her. She'll get the red line and dump it in. Larson waiting for it behind the net. A lot of traffic comes. She's tied up behind the net. Puck comes free out front, and Johnson couldn't get a stick on it. Julian's shot goes through the slot into the near corner, and Taylor Hall will get it out. That Pass bounced away from Omi. Scott gets it back into the zone. Bernovic pushes it in deep. Messer, first one there for Rogers, turns it around. Omi left it there for Achterkirk. Taken away by Bowden and played in and around. Johnson centering right through the top of the crease, but nobody there, and this one poked out to center. Oswego will circle back. Pass didn't click with Bowden, and that will be icing. Yeah, good, consistent pressure so far through the first 7.5 minutes of the second period by Champlin Park Coon Rapids.
Yeah, but you are correct. The next goal will be really huge. I mean, certainly the Royals need the next goal.
Pass bounces away from Ketting, and great angle by Moyer to keep her off the puck. Held up at the far side, though, by Briley Del Castillo. Del Castillo poking it back toward the net. Bounced away from Zaholka. Pass was a little bit behind Sandberg. Johansson tried to reach back for it. Lost her stick. Tangled up with Kylie Oswego. Clear won't get past. Johansson walking down. Short angle. Goes across the top of the crease. Loose puck controlled by Emma Olsen. Backhands it to the line. Not out. And now Zaholka able to get it to center. Back into her own zone goes Sydney Bailey. Chased away by Kylie Ketting. Bailey off the near board, out of the reach of Johansson. Turned around by Oswego, but the pass didn't click. And another icing almost exactly midway through this second period.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, just couldn't get it on that pass on her stick. And of course, once that was missed, they'll bring the puck back to the other end of the ice for the face-off for Restral's right.
Clean face-off win by Achterkirk, but it splits the defenders, goes all the way back to the other end. Good pressure, forces the turnover from Johnson. The shot blocked out front, poke free, still loose. Larson scrambling, able to stay with it to her right, and now Achterkirk emerges from the melee with the puck and has speed all the way to the other end. Nola Milton, the good poke check to get it off her stick. Played behind. Kylie Scott trying to catch up with it and now just flings it the length of the ice. And the Bluebirds will get a line change.
Yeah, great opportunity for the Bluebirds last time down ice. They almost had their fourth goal of this game. Unfortunately for the Royals, they weren't able to connect.
Johansson wins the draw. Sandberg, quick shot and a goal.
Well, that's what the Royals needed. They needed that second goal here to cut it to one. And Sandberg doing a good job of just getting that puck through traffic. Not sure Restral saw it. And now it's just a one-goal game.
Well, and again, that's two of your 31-point scorers coming in. A face-off win from one, a quick shot through traffic by the other. And Rogers has cut it to a one-goal lead with 7:59 to go here in period number two. Another face-off win by Johansson. Sandberg right back into the zone. Wrist shot blocked by Oswego. But the Royals able to jump right back on it. Centering effort bounced right over the stick of Johansson. Down in the corner. Scherf played it behind, and now it comes around. Good hold at the line by Bailey, but CPCR able to get it out the other side. Johansson slowed down by Julian, stays with it. Supported there by Scherf. Olsen will play it around for CPCR. Pokes free, and here's Shelby Julian. Gets to center, will fire it in on Larson, padded to the far board. Bowden pressuring on the puck. Comes free for Messer, gets to center and dumps it in. Kylie Scott stops up behind her own net. Trying to get the wheels going, turning away from Taylor Hall. Scott will dump it in. Larson stops it up there, leaves it for Moyer. Played around, out to the line, held there by Del Castillo. Turnaround chance for Bernovic was blocked. Puck comes free to the corner, swept back to Johnson one time, that was just fluttering. And found its way into the glove of Lauren Larson.
Yeah, an easy opportunity for Larson there is she just watch that puck roll into her glove, and we'll have the face-off to her left. Boy, how big a goal was that for Rogers, Joe?
Giant.
Yeah.
They say the 2-goal lead is the toughest or the worst lead in hockey.
Yeah.
This one taken away by Ava Johansson. She skates down the wing out front, just out of the reach of Sandberg. As both CPCR defenders had committed to the puck carrier, she would have had a juicy, juicy opportunity. This one held in at the line by Bailey. Back out of the corner comes Sandberg out front. Johansson reached for it, or Achterkirch rather, reached for it and just sent it wide. Johansson plays it behind. Sandberg recovers. They've got their 3 leading scorers all teamed up on this line, trying to get it back to even. Johansson will dump it in. And Swegan has time as the Royals are getting a line change off the board for Lily McKenzie. Lily McKenzie, just a sophomore, leading CPCR with 38 points coming into the contest. Believe she has an assist on the first period goal by Kylie Scott. On the score sheet it said 2, but there is no number 2.
This is true.
There is a 22 and there is a 20.
But not a 2.
But not a 2. And I believe it was number 20 that was getting the assist on that. I'm sure when they review the tape, they'll get it figured out.
I would think so. Another icing call on the Bluebirds.
Well, we saw in the first period, after scoring, the Royals really got the momentum behind themselves and applied some good pressure, created some good scoring opportunities. Although Coon Rapids Champlin Park outshot them 9-3 in the first period. I thought that the Royals actually had the better scoring opportunities through much of that first period. Tessa Bowden back on the attack, trying to go cross ice, just out of the reach of Cam Singh. Singh will recover, try and stay away from Bailey down behind. Played it around, not enough on it, and it's shot back out to center. Here comes Taylor Hall. Hall tried to drag it around Scott, had it tipped away. Scott double teamed to the boards, able to come away with the puck. Long pass looking for Singh, was slowed but gets through. Here's Bowden, had it tipped off her stick, and now Singh will just punch it in, and CPCR will complete a line change. Johansson was just lurking at the offensive blue line, but they were unable to get it up to her as Swegan turns it around. And icing waved off as that was deflected. Left there, Bailey pushes it along near side. Johansson stops up, looks, plays it. Not a lot on it. Stopped up by Bernovic and played down low. Johnson trying to center, taken away by Achterkirk, and her pass out of the reach of Sandberg all the way down. And that'll be an icing on the Royals with a little less than 4 minutes left in the second.
Yeah, I like the thought, trying to spring Sandberg, but not able to get that pass to her stick, and of course that an easy icing call.
Face-off win for Achterkirk. Turning in the corner is Messer. Achterkirk looks and finds Ava Johansson. A breakaway at the other end. A shot up over the net. And a great opportunity using that speed and the stretch pass to create offensive opportunities.
Boy, the Bluebirds were very fortunate in that case, especially with that young lady coming down ice.
And here's our first penalty of the game as Riley Del Castillo, great hustle to get down and create pressure. Stick for Mackie Moyer gets tied up in her legs. She goes down, and CPCR goes to the advantage.
Well, this is a big power play opportunity for the Bluebirds, Joe, and something that as you mentioned, we're at 3:23 left in the second period. The first power play for either squad.
Yeah, it's been a really clean game. It's been great pace, end-to-end action. two well-matched clubs, as you would expect from a 4-5 matchup in the quarterfinals. Kylie Scott plays it through, kicked away by Larson. McKenzie back out to the point. Scott through, another pad save by Larson. Bluebirds are getting traffic, trying to take away her eyes, but able to make a couple of pad saves. Scott walking in, that shot deflected off a skate and ended up in the far corner. Johnson leaves it for Bernovic, fanned on the pass back. That was held momentarily by Messer and now cleared behind. Bailey gets a hold of it, plays it off the glass. Scott able to hold it at the blue line and dump it back into the corner. Ketting bumped there by Bailey, back to McKenzie. Down low is Bernovic. McKenzie on the boards. Walking off, leaves it for Kylie Scott. Down low. Bernovic wants to go out front. It was intercepted and cleared the length of the ice. Little more than midway through the penalty to Mackie Moyer.
A couple of opportunities for the Bluebirds here on this power play, not getting anything to go yet.
Well, miscommunication, nearly turned it over, and then the pass took a funny bounce. And here's Sandberg from a short angle, saved by the shoulder of Wastrel and up out of play. 2:01 on the clock, 39 seconds on the power play for the Bluebirds.
Yeah, Bluebirds have to make sure they do a better job with the pucks in their own end on this power play. So they turn that one over.
Face off to the far corner. Oswego fans on a bouncing puck. Now settles, waits, plays it across for Briley Del Castillo. She's got room and she'll skate with it. Into the zone, down the right wing. Trying to cut out front. She's bumped off course by Maida. Centering pass, bouncing around. Singh trying to settle. Will play it back down low. Out front, looking for Bowden. It was knocked away by Maida. 10 seconds left on the power play. Oswego tried to get it back to Del Castillo. She's pressured, tied up in the corner by Sandberg. Out to the point. Singh will play it back in as the penalty to Moyer expires.
A good job by the Royals to fight off that power play opportunity from the Bluebirds.
Oswego able to disrupt the stretch pass this time and get it turned back the other way. Entering the zone, pressured, coughs it up. Sandberg plays it across off the boards. Bailey in the zone looking, saved by Wastrel. So I think she really wanted to pass it out front. She had Johansson crashing down the slot. Dump attempt is blocked. Recovered by McKenzie off the far boards. Under a minute to go in this second period. Lily McKenzie to her backhand. That didn't make it through. Bailey with the block. Centering attempt taken away by Ochterkirk to the line, but held by Julian. That shot saved away by Larson. Short angle shot knocked down by Larson. Hacked at by McKenzie. Centers. Julian a one-timer, a glove save. And a face-off upcoming to the left of Lauren Larson with 19.2 on the clock in this second period.
Yeah, Bluebirds getting some pressure here right at the end of this second period, trying to get that two-goal cushion back before we hit the second period intermission.
Face off, tie up, puck kicks free to the corner. McKenzie backhands toward the front, broken up with a stick by Larson. Taylor Hall tied up in the far corner with Sydney Bernovic. Milton tried to dig it free. Instead, Hall trying to sprint to center. Will get there, but the buzzer will sound. And we will go to the intermission with CPCR holding the slimmest of leads. They came out, got two early goals in the second period, but a quick one from McKenna Sandberg midway through has Rogers back within one. It's 3-2 as we reach the second intermission. You're watching CTN Light live coverage of the Section 5 AA quarterfinals. Back in the Roseville Ice Arena, Champlin Park Coon Rapids. A 3-2 lead over Rogers in this quarterfinal round of the Section 5 AA tournament. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro bringing you the action. Very exciting, a good game end-to-end. A lot of chances both ways. CPCR jumped to the lead in the first on a goal by Kylie Scott, but Rogers answered quickly on a great individual effort from McKenna Sandberg. CPCR came back and got two very early goals from Zaholka and Lily McKenzie. Those goals just a little less than 45 seconds apart early in that second period. And then about midway through, another goal for Sandberg. It wasn't Sandberg in the first. It was Achterkirk.
Right.
With the great individual effort. And then Sandberg off a quick shot off a face-off win by Johansson that has it back to a one-goal game. And it did appear just one penalty through the first two periods. It was against Rogers late in the second. Since that time, CPCR seemed to be a little bit back more in control after the Royals had some momentum behind them after that goal by Sandberg.
Well, it's going to be a fun third period, and obviously 3-2 lead for the Bluebirds. They'd love to get a tally here early and then continue to put pressure on Rogers, but Rogers knows what they need to do.
Well, and it's all or nothing. The winning team moves to the semifinals. Will face number 1 seed Maple Grove on Tuesday evening. This one played down ice, but off the stick of Scott, so no icing. Julian has some trouble with it behind the net. A double team comes. Now a third player as Achterkirk came in and got the steal away. Held at the line by Bailey and just flung into the far corner. Barnacle plays it back behind Hall, trying to center. Kicked away by Julian. Hall plays it back into the corner. There awaits Johansson. Johansson stops up, spins, tried to center. It was deflected away by Scott, who plays it off the glass all the way down. That'll be icing. And a face-off back in the Champlin Park Coon Rapids end, a little less than a minute into this third period.
Yeah, both teams more so CPCR getting fresh skaters on the ice, although this period just started.
Face-off win, but it bounced away from Sandberg. Ends up behind. Oswego plays it around. First one there is Maida. Maida bumped by Oswego. Puck underneath a sliding Oswego. Comes free to Briley Del Castillo. She plays it ahead. Ketting can't control as she's pressured there by Moyer. Step-up steal for Sandberg into the corner. Pressured behind by Oswego. Stays in control of the puck to the top of the circles. Still with it. Will take the shot, saved by Wastrel. Long rebound, controlled by Bowden. She'll skate with it to center and now dump it in deep. As CPCR tries to get some fresh bodies on, Ketting continues to pressure. That pass in the skates of Omi. And Johansson just plays it down into the CPCR end. Right back out. Bernovic was delayed. McKenzie trying to play it back to herself behind her back. It's taken away by Bailey and turned around. Poked off a Taylor Hall stick. And now here's Achterkirk jumping on a loose puck, and we have a tie game.
Boy, what a big game. Her second of the game. That was a big score for the Royals as they're able to tie it up early here in period number 3. Boy, it takes a little bit of the momentum now away from the Bluebirds and puts it back on the shoulders of the Royals as Achterkirk with a nice shot far side beats Wastrel, and we are tied at 3.
Well, and just a turnover at center ice,
yep.
And
Can't have it.
Speed turns into an odd man rush, and a quick shot from Achterkirk when I think Wastrel might have been cheating for the pass. Here's Scott, top of the zone. That's blocked away by Barnacle into the corner. Julian can't center, stays with it. It's in her skates. McKenzie comes down to support, comes away with the puck, tried to get it to Johnson. Achterkirk instead intercepts and flips it out to center. Kylie Scott pressured by Taylor Hall. Will skate it behind her own net. And now gains speed up the left wing. Past the slash of Johansson, gets through the hook and no call. And that forces the turnover. Taylor Hall back the other way. And that's going to be offside. as Ava Johansson was on the line, a little frustrated she didn't get the pass, and then lifted up her back leg, and that forced her offside.
Well, now it's interesting. We've got plenty of time left in this third period. We're tied at 3. Well, interesting how this thing will unfold.
Sandberg out front. It got Johansson spun around, comes to the line. Maida sends it in behind the net. Sandberg off the boards, across, out of the reach of Maida. She'll send it back in deep. Good job protecting the puck by Omi. Double team comes. Johansson there to assist for the Royals, able to come away with the puck. Out to the line, Maida, a shot that hit the traffic, still loose out front. Bowden gets it to Singh, trying to break down the right wing. Good recovery though from Mackie Moyer. Moyer stops up, and she is knocked to the ice by Singh, and Royals fans up in arms for their no call being there, and I think they're right to be.
Yeah.
Although I
don't know.
No, that was definitely a penalty in my opinion.
Then how do they not call it?
But we saw on the earlier drive by Kylie Scott, she got hooked and that forced a turnover. Here's Johnson, a shot up, tip and a goal for Lily McKenzie out front. Her second of the game, and CPCR right back in front.
Yeah, now the Rogers fans are going to have to. Not going to be happy with the fact that penalty was not called, and then the Bluebirds come back almost instantly and score a goal.
Well, and I was wondering about the non-call on the Kylie Scott hook, but I thought the Singh hit behind the net was a little more blatant. Although the puck carrier, I think that was Moyer, they kind of lost an edge, so it looked worse than I think it was. But I still think there was probably a penalty there with the way she leaned into her in the position they were in. But it's only a penalty if they call it. Centering pass, tipped away, and here comes Taylor Hall back the other way for the Royals. Top of the zone, Wines fires, glove save, Wastrel.
Yeah, not much on that. Wastrel able to easily bring it into her glove to force the face-off. But, yeah, how big a goal is that now? All of a sudden you gave up that momentum, up 3-2 coming into the third. Rogers does a great job. Dr. Kirk with a wonderful shot to the far corner of the net to tie it up, and all of a sudden you come back, and now you get that fourth goal, and you've got that momentum back on your side.
Off the tie-up, Scott able to dig it free, bounce it off the glass all the way down. Zahalka giving chase, trying to get there, and just a little too much. That one just trickled over the end line before Zahalka could get there.
Yeah, she was hoping to spring her with an opportunity to put a little insurance in front of him.
Face-off win. Julian retreats behind her own net around the boards. Bowden tips it past Maida out to center. Johansson, long pass for Sandberg at the line, knocked away by Oswego. Recovered by Tessa Bowden for Champlin Park Coon Rapids. Staying away from a stick check, carries into the zone, protects, now swept away by Maida. Maida coming off the boards, she gets tangled up with Bowden. They both go down, and again, Rogers fans wanting a call that will not come.
Well, they had a better argument on the last one.
Moyer had it tipped off her stick just before she entered, and that forces the Royals in offside. 11:40 left, period number 3, a 4-3 lead for Champlin Park Coon Rapids. And I don't know how many times this season that Lauren Larson has given up 4 goals.
You'd have to break it. Obviously, we'd have to break that down, but probably not often at all.
Well,
probably not happening. Goals against was a 1.89.
I had her at, I think, 1.95.
Or maybe something like that. It was under 2.
I'm sure you can click on it. That one bounces behind Oswego, but Hall to the line. A quick one-timer by Achterkirk. Saved into the corner, played back out to center, and Rogers right back in possession. That pass didn't click. Del Castillo settles the bouncing puck, plays it through center. Slowed by Maida, so no icing. She'll carry behind her own net. Pressured there by Singh. McKenzie comes in, gets the steal out front. Tried to backhand it through a crowd and didn't get there. Shot deflected just wide off the stick of Briley Del Castillo. Back out to the point. Del Castillo fanned on it. Lost it in her skates. A battle ensues along the near board. Del Castillo gets it back to Emma Olsen. She can't get it in deep. Hall gets it out to center, has it stolen right back by Emma Olsen. Olsen tried to flip it around Maida, and then actually it was Hall that flipped it around Maida for her. And now here's Kylie Scott, centered and fanned on. This shot by Milton goes to the far corner. Scott trying to get through the traffic jam, and now scooped out to center by Olivia Omi. Zahalka at her own line, pressured by Johansson. Scott will play it back out to center. Turned around by Sydney Bailey. Bailey into the zone for Rogers. Spins to the boards on the near side. Tried to get it back down deep. It's taken away by Zahalka. Taylor Zahalka with some time. She'll dump it in deep. McKenzie will get there first, but it's poked free by Bailey. Johansson off the boards, out of the reach of Sandberg. That'll go the length and be icing.
Well, you see the time, 9:23 remaining in the third period. The Bluebirds, CPR Bluebirds holding on to a slim 4-3 lead over the Royals from Rogers.
Well, CPCR in its fifth year got its first section win last year against these same Royals. The Royals had eliminated them, I believe, the previous two seasons. Or two of the previous three, maybe. Either way, this is a long-time section rivalry. CPCR trying to make it to the semifinal round for the second year in a row. Ochterkirk battling in the corner. Too many Bluebirds there, and finally coughs it up. Bowden gathers it in through center. Wrist shot right into the midsection of Lauren Larson. She'll hold for a faceoff with 8:43 to go in the third.
Oh, yeah, get that in their midsection, forcing her to, as you mentioned, to hold on to it. And the Bluebirds see if they can get some pressure down now with the faceoff coming to her left.
Another face-off win for the Royals. Played around. Omi tied up, but it kicks free to Bailey. Bailey cross ice. Sandberg chips it off the boards, and jumping on it, Johansson short angle shot turned away by Wastrel. Keding ahead for Cam Singh at center. Singh gets into the zone, trying to get her way around Omi, but can't. Royals take it behind with Johansson ahead for Omi. Lost the handle, but Johansson recovers. Into the zone, back for Sandberg. Sandberg a shot deflected up and over by a diving Kyla Keding.
Well, it was a great defensive play by Keding. Get a piece of that puck.
A couple of times that she has left her feet to make outstanding plays. Interception by Ochterkirk. Flips it in on the backhand. The save and hold by Wastrel. And this after another questionable non-call behind the net that had the Royals fans screaming about another call that would not come.
Well, you have to be really impressed with Avery Ochterkirk. She's a good player.
McKenzie sweeps it out to center. The dump attempt went off the shin pads of Lauren Barnacle, so offside. And actually, that might be a better result for
Rogers.
For Rogers, because the deflection, Kieran Back, may have sprung CPCR on a 2-on-1. Milton circling back in her own zone, plays it off the near boards. Ochterkirk able to chip it away from Bernovic in deep, comes back to her. Her shot deflected up and over. Brooklyn Johnson trying to catch it on the wraparound. She was tied up there by Moyer. Moyer back deep into her own corner. Slowed by Bernovic, still chops at it. Moyer gets it back. Ochterkirk there in support. Cross ice pass gets through to Barnacle. Had it chopped off her stick. Bernovic can't get it in deep. Julian gives chase. She sends it in behind. Bernovic stops up, poked away from her, out to the line. Oswego through traffic. That was blocked down by Ochterkirk, and Ochterkirk races up ice. Just nothing left in the gas tank. She dumps it in and gets a line change. Oswego ahead, deflected by McKenzie, turned by Bailey. Bailey chased and will now leave it back for Messer. Plays it ahead. That pass didn't quite connect. Julian recovers for CPCR. Chipped in, and here's Bowden trying to get down the wing, trying to cut back out front. Goes sliding into Larson in the crease. A few minor calls from the CPCR side about a non-call. But for the most part, the referees have let them play.
They have.
There have been a couple that have been questionable either way that I think maybe should have been called.
I agree.
This one chipped ahead to Sandberg, had to turn her up to get it. Stops up on entry. Tried to slip it past Scott. Instead, it's kicked to the neutral ice. Kicking it free is Ketting. Kyla Ketting down the boards. Backhands it out front. It was behind Zaholka. Maida's pass too far for Barnacle. Oswego trying to skate out of her own zone. Kylie Oswego tried to cut through the defenders, had it chipped off her stick, and Ochterkirk going back the other way for Rogers. Ochterkirk had it knocked off her stick into the corner and now recovers. She's slowed, hauled down, puck comes free, a chance for Bailey. That's blocked away by Oswego. Oswego up the boards. Brooklyn Johnson tied up there by Maida. Top of the zone, Hall a shot, stick save into the corner as we're under 5 minutes remaining in this third period. Good pressure here from the Rogers Royals, trailing 4-3. Oswego digs it free for CPCR in the corner, gets it to Bowden. Bowden pressured from behind, coughs it up. Hall keeps it in momentarily, but now poked back out to center, and here's Brooklyn Johnson at the other end for CPCR, trying to stay away from Bailey, looking to center, but that was cut off by Messer. Hall back to center, bounces it past Scott. Milton sends it off the near boards, out of the reach of Bernovic, right back in from Messer. Milton, cross ice. Johnson couldn't settle the bouncing puck, now has it back. That was knocked down by Johansson, who has the angle on Scott. Those two tangle up and go into the net, but the puck is covered and held by Maddie Wastrel.
Yeah, you talked about the pressure that the Royals are applying here, and they know that their season is over if they don't get a tally here in the last 4:09. So you're seeing a lot of play down in the Bluebird end at this point. So I think the Bluebirds just can't continue. It's got to play their game. They can't panic at all at this point. Up by a goal.
Face-off win. Shot comes in. Wastrel the save and the cover. We'll try it again.
Yeah, another nice shot in, and just make Wastrel make a save.
Johansson, another face-off win. Sandberg shot this time, deflected up and over. Sandberg out to the point. Maida lost it in her skates, forced out to center, and here's McKenzie getting it ahead to Bernovic. Across too far in front of Brooklyn Johnson. Out to McKenzie, tried to jam it home short side, but Larson able to make the save.
Oh, almost a great opportunity for the Bluebirds there.
Well, entering the zone, I don't know that Bernovic knew that she had McKenzie coming in right behind her. Tried to go out front for Johnson. This one kicks free to Ochterkirk. They've again got the top three scorers lined up together. Julian slows it, but Johansson jumps right on it. Julian behind the net, out of the reach of Kylie Scott. Bernovic pressured by Sandberg, gets it to Lily McKenzie, and McKenzie gets on her horse into the offensive end, shoots it in wide. She's got 2 goals. Would love to have the hat trick. This one flipped in on Larson, just patted away and then bounced around in a dangerous spot out to the line. Oswego Right back to Ketting on the board. She turned and tried to shoot. Sandberg blocked. Comes right back to her on the boards. Trying to walk out front. Bowden on the backhand. Plays it toward the net. Poked to the corner by Larson. And CPCR more than happy to just spend time in the offensive end.
Yes, for sure.
Especially when they have those top three scorers on the ice. Try and tire them out in the defensive end. Great hold at the defensive line by Del Castillo. This one flipped in. A rebound chance by Bowden. Larson holds strong and covers for the faceoff with 2:22 to go.
Yeah, Larson lost that puck, and she was fortunate that wasn't put in the back of her. As we 2:22 remaining, I believe a timeout has been called by Rogers.
You'd love to have an offensive zone faceoff, but as you get to this point, down one, you want to have everybody on the same page strategy-wise.
Agreed.
As far as when they get the top line out and when they call Larson to the bench.
Yep. And a lot of strategy here in the last 2:22 for both teams, obviously. And as you mentioned, that the Bluebirds will be happy to continue to keep possession down in the Royals' end.
.222 remaining in the third period. Champlin Park, Coon Rapids has not trailed in this contest, but the Rogers Royals have had the answer a couple of different times and battled to get this one tied at 1-1 and then again at 3-3. Last goal, the most important, though, and it's Lily McKenzie on the tip that has her team in front by a 4-3 score. These two teams split the season series. A 2-1 overtime win for Rogers back in early December. And then just a little more than a week ago, on the 1st of February, it was a 6-3 win for Champlin Park Coon Rapids in a game when the Royals had leads of 2-0 and 3-1 in the first period. CPCR scored the last 6 goals, including an empty netter, to get that win that at the time we thought would determine the number 3 seed in this section tournament. Instead, both teams getting bumped by North Wright County, who got that 3 seed and will open the quarterfinal round against Osseo Park Center. In the late game tonight, Centennial Spring Lake Park taking on 7th seeded Moundsview. In the next contest, Johnson trying to get it out front, too far in front of McKenzie. Julian will just smartly play it down in deep. CPCR trying to center. Cross ice pass in the skates of Sandberg. She battles with Bernovic to the boards. Comes free for Johansson. Johansson into the corner. There goes Larson. A little less than 2 minutes left. Bounced off the boards and out, and icing waved off as Hall was just onto the ice, and it went right past her. So no icing. CPCR brings the numbers, tied up in the corner.
Boy, tied up with an empty net.
And that's a whistle that it's so rare to see a referee blow a whistle for a tied-up puck now, if there is any movement at all, and that is definitely a fortunate whistle for the Rogers Royals, because CPCR more than happy to tie it up and let time tick off. And now CPCR going to call its timeout.
Yeah, with 1:34 remaining. Yeah, that's a huge fortunate whistle for the Royals, because you know obviously you've got an empty net, and you've got CPCR looking to get that game winner or get that game insurance goal and make it 5-3 and live to play on Tuesday night.
Well, and for CPCR, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It does give them an opportunity to rest their best players and talk about their strategy.
Right.
But it also gives the Royals an opportunity to get those 3 30-point scorers rested up as well.
Correct.
For the final push, trying to find an answer, get a goal that would maybe force overtime.
And then, the Bluebirds just have to continue just to pressure down in the Royals and not let that goaltender get out. and trying to skate this last 134 off. Still plenty of time. Anything can happen.
Rogers has been good on the faceoff, and they've been good on the breakout. Two things that they will need to click here as they hope to get that puck to the other end of the ice, get Larson back to the bench as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
CPCR will roll out its top line, and it'll be Sydney Bernovic in the faceoff circle against Ochterkirk. Ochterkirk able to win the draw, but McKenzie jumps right on it, and she's just going to try and pin it up against the boards again. Bernovic comes up with a loose puck. She turns to the boards, tied up by Bailey, comes away with it, pressured by Ochterkirk, and coughs it up. Ochterkirk across, too far for Johansson. This is going to go all the way down to be icing.
Yeah, they did not want that.
No. It's going to mean Larson has to stay between the pipes, and they have another face-off in their defensive end. And now McKenzie will go back into the face-off dot. Still a win for Ochterkirk. Played up the board. Sandberg kicks it out, looking for Ochterkirk to come up the seam, but is out of her reach. Ochterkirk recovers in the far corner, tied up there by Bernovic. Pushes it free. Johansson sends it to the line and out. Julian waits, sends it right back in, but didn't get it deep. To center comes Bailey, and then fired right back down by Scott, and not really what she wanted to do.
Definitely not.
As this gives them an offensive zone faceoff and stops the clock, allows Larson to get to the bench for that extra skater.
Yeah, 48 seconds remaining in the contest. Yeah, this definitely did not want this to happen if you're the Bluebirds fan. I mean, time's ticking away, but
Ochterkirk trying to push it toward the net off the draw, held at the line by Sandberg, bounced away from Hall, back to Sandberg, cross ice, has Johansson a shot, a save, a rebound still loose.
Wow.
30 seconds left, firing at the distance is McKenzie, and it's going to roll just wide with 26 seconds remaining.
Wow, good opportunity there for the Royals. But
what a gorgeous cross-ice pass. And CPCR is fortunate that Johansson had to settle the puck a little bit. Great pass from Sandberg, and she was there at the back door, had a lot of net to look at, but that extra second gave Wastrel an opportunity to get in position to make the save. Easy save that time, not a lot on that shot, and she saw it all the way from the point from Bailey.
Still 21.8 seconds remaining.
Pushed to the corner by Bernovic. Goes behind. Julian swats at it. Scott comes up with it. Scott will skate it to center ice and will send it into a wide open net, and that should seal it. The second goal of the night for the Cardinal captain. Puts them up 5-3 with 8.5 to go.
Yeah, again, she does a great job of stick handling, and once she was able to get past over the blue line, an opportunity to get a shot on net, she was not going to miss that one.
Keeps her multi-point game streak intact. She has points in 6 straight, multi-points in 5 straight. And her team pretty much has just punched their ticket for Tuesday night's face-off against Maple Grove. That game will be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Against that top-seeded Crimson.
A team that I believe CPCR lost to 4-0.
4-0.
I believe is correct in the one meeting this year. And, of course, a lot of history with the Crimson. The Crimson, a very strong, very good program, but also former CPCR coach Jim Coltis behind the bench over there. His team would like nothing more than to put a goal. So
for sure.
put on a glass slipper
for sure
on Tuesday night.
Definitely, and it's something that they obviously had to get past the Royals. Rogers, a really good squad, gave the Bluebirds all they could handle.
Great game.
Yeah,
really,
it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Back, end to end, good pace, good opportunities for both clubs. Strong defensive play.
Yep.
And clean. I mean, we only had the one penalty called. Or one penalty each way all season, all game, right?
Yeah.
Or no, it was just one penalty.
Just the one penalty on
one
the Royals.
penalty all game. There were a couple of questionable non-calls, perhaps, but
especially when it came after that non-call and then the goal scored by the Bluebirds. But hey, as you always say, if they don't call it, it's not a penalty.
It's only illegal if they blow the whistle.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's unfortunate every time you get to playoffs because someone's season has to end. And for the Rogers Royals, a great job coming back a couple of different times and keeping CPCR from pulling away and keeping it entertaining to the end for CPCR. You've got 6 in a row now, and now you have the big dog in front of you on Tuesday night.
Huge game Tuesday night on Valentine's Day.
Well, that, though, is going to do it for this edition of CTN Light. We want to thank the Rogers and CPCR booster clubs for footing the bill to allow us to do this as a live playoff contest. And, again, the final score, CPCR 5, Rogers 3. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.